I'm sorry, I got a new camera recently. One sec. Now. So much, I'm gonna be honest, it's one of the most... Excuse me. I hate toad bags so much. They're one of the most awful things that humanity as a species has created. They have no use. They're uncomfortable to hold. I mean, it's so awkward with the show. I don't like. They don't even look good. I don't like it. Not a fan. Anywho, I made a series of financial decisions while I was in New Orleans. Most of which were bad. I don't have all of them right now. I will describe the other two I don't have at the moment soon. But, nonetheless, what is going on with my hair? That's curious. Nonetheless, I will begin. First off, the complete poetry of Edgar Allan Poe. I love Edgar Allan Poe more than some members of my family. And, yeah, I think it's neat. It's a little pocket book. I love it. Okay, get out of the way. Okay, then we have, Monsignor Coyote. Now I thought this was interesting because it's Graham Greene, and Eudora Welty loved Graham Greene, and I love Eudora Welty. So, a friend of my friend is my friend. That logic. And so it's about this dude, and he's a local priest who's really incompetent and very bad at his job. And then he there's a clerical error, right? So he gets promoted to the position of a Monsignor, and a Monsignor is like a bishop, but less so, right? And so he has to journey to Madrid to purchase a pair of purple socks to match his, you know, thing they wear. I don't know what it's called. And so it's kind of like a modern, it was from the 80s. It's like a modern-ish retelling of Don Quixote. And like he pairs up with the Sancho stand-in, who is the communist ex-mayor of the village who recently lost his election, and they argue about like religion and politics. And I think that sounds fun. So something that I considered getting but didn't, real quick, is a Czechoslovakian edition of my favorite book, A Confederacy of Dunces. I didn't get it because I didn't want it. Well, I did want it, but like, why would I get a Czechoslovakian cover edition of A Confederacy of Dunces if I only speak English? That's dumb. But the cover was really cool. I'll attach an image of it real quick. Next up, this is kind of a big one. It's Notre Dame de Paris, The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. I adore Victor Hugo. I adore The Hunchback of Notre Dame, but I've never read the book, and I've always wanted to read the book, so I'm gonna read it. It looks long and boring. But hey, if I read it now, I'll get to say I read it. And that's why I read. It's so I can say I read. This one looks interesting. It's, I don't know how to pronounce the title, but it's Christianity and the Imprecatory Arts. It's like about Christianity, how Christianity and dark magic have kind of like intertwined through history. And I think that is really interesting. And the last thing I got, well, not the, there's more things I got, but just I don't have on me. Is Broadway Bound by Neil Simon. So I was in production of Brighton Beach Memoir, in September. That's what that is. And so, it was Brighton Beach Memoir was a trilogy, right? Yeah, it was a trilogy. Brighton Beach Memoir, because it's Brighton Beach Memoir, and it's Biloxi Blues, and Broadway Bound, because it's like a semi-autobiographical thing by Neil Simon where he has like his stand-in Eugene Lively. And so I read Biloxi Blues. I haven't read Broadway Bound yet, so I need to give it a shot. Looks interesting. Also, this came in the copy I got, and I wonder, is it a playbill? I'm not entirely sure what it is. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I don't think it's a playthrough, but it's possible it is. You know, really and truly, I'm not sure. I think it's interesting though. It's supposed to be Simon's most underrated show. Notice how I didn't say good. I said underrated. There are a couple other things I got just recently that I would also like to show. So excuse me while I get it. Okay, I have them now. So I got a short story collection by Harlan Ellison, and I've already read a couple. I mean, I got this a while back. I haven't looked into it as much as I wish I got to, but I think it's very interesting. I'm not a huge fan of Harlan Ellison. I liked his personality. What an insane take. I liked his personality, but not his works. I've read, Repent Harley Quinn, says the TikTok man, and I thought that was really interesting. His stuff is all so psychedelic. I'm in the middle of, the Deathbird. In the middle of the Deathbird, but I read, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, and I thought it was really interesting, but, also, I mean, kind of like it, we get it, you know, that's kind of what I got, like, he was just really pushing the whole, thing. God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater by Kurt Vonnegut. I read this, not his best. Slaughterhouse 5 did it for me. I love that book, and I don't think you can top it, so I really messed myself up by reading that first, because now everything Vonnegut writes, I look at it, relative to that, and, I really gotta say, I wasn't a fan of this one. I don't know why. It was a good story. I liked it. It was very funny. All this stuff's funny. I like his voice. I really enjoyed the first chapter. I don't know. I thought it was weak. But I do like the, what's his name? Kilgore Trout. I like how Kilgore Trout appears in a lot of the stuff. Memories, Dreams, and Reflections. A teacher recommended this book to me. I'm probably never going to read it, but it's nice to have in case I do. There's a whole chapter on Sigmund Freud, which I think is amusing. My copy of it, by the way, is collapsing. Like, right now, it's actively collapsing. I'm never gonna read it. I'm not that interested in psychology. I know CC Young was acquainted with Sigmund Freud, who was acquainted with beautiful tie-in, Stefan Zweig, The Post Office Girl by Stefan Zweig. I love Stefan Zweig so much. He's my favorite writer of all time. I recognize all the critiques of him, and they are valid. He's very insufferable and pretentious, but I love him. So The Post Office Girl was published in the 80s, which I think is interesting, because he died in 1945. So The Post Office Girl, it was found in his, I guess, notes and all this stuff, and they published it in 2 parts. I haven't read it yet. I started it. I got into the first couple pages, and it looks interesting. It's described in the blurb as, Cinderella meets Bonnie and Clyde. I like it. I like it. I'm a big fan of Stefan Zweig. I like his play, Jeremiah. I thought that was interesting. I like how his stuff gives you perspectives. And finally, the first volume of the collected plays of Neil Simon. I've already read Come Blow Your Horn. I think, I love Neil Simon. I love his humor. I think a lot of his stories and stuff can get really cheesy really fast. Like, Chapter 2 was one of the worst things I've read in my life. Like, stuff like Lost in Yonkers, or Biloxi Blues, or Breaking From, all those stuff, or even Barefoot in the Park, those are all excellent. His stuff is either wonderful or awful, and there's never an in-between. And then there's one more thing I just have on my shelf. Gargantua and Pantagruel, which again I'm probably never gonna read, but I like to just look into it because there are moments of hilarity on every page, and I like just flipping through and kind of seeing stuff. I mean, it's hysterical. I've started it a little bit. I don't expect myself to read the whole thing. I'm not good with big books. But I think this is very amusing already. If I finish it, I will have an in-depth video essay on it. It's very amusing. It's very funny. I have like a little picture book called The Dramatic Dreams of Pantagruel right there. It's very funny. I love a lot of that like medieval French comedy stuff. I've always been amused by it, like Candide. I also got, that I don't have on me, 5 Little Peppers and How They Grew, which, you know, like a easy children's book, but it was the first book my grandfather ever read, so, I figured, you know what, I might as well just pick it up. And, the other thing is A Confederacy of Dunces cookbook, which is, Confederacy of Dunces is my favorite. I just adore it. I love anything by John Kennedy Toole. I even have stuff that's based off John Kennedy Toole, but not John Kennedy Toole. I have his first book, The Neon Bible, which was actually published, without his family's consent. I thought that was very shady. Kind of like the, Ghost of the Watchmen things. And I have that, and Butterfly and the Typewriter, which is his biography. I haven't started that yet. And, I recently got A Confederacy of Dunces cookbook, I already said, but it's very interesting. It was published for the novel's anniversary, I think. I forgot, I think it was its 50th anniversary. And it's very interesting, you know, it has little tidbits from, like, different stuff at different restaurants. Like, it has mocktail recipes for the Night of Joy bar. It has, like, a Dr. Nut recipe. It's very sweet. It's very cute. That's all. Alright, bye-bye.